Hi there, this is Francis Turner from ThreatSTOP. I'm a security researcher involved in our sanctions compliance and sanctions related activities. One of the questions that we've been asked a lot is who must comply with OFAC or other EU, etc. sanctions? And the basic answer to that is anyone who wants to do business, use the US banking system or the EU's banking system, pretty much has to comply with these sanctions. Now you get a certain amount of leeway for doing things by mistake and so on, but you really don't want to be cut out of the US banking system. You do not want to be removed from SWIFT. You do not want to discover that your bank says, oh, and by the way, we no longer wish to have you as a customer because we consider you to be a person of who's doing business with sanctioned entities, and therefore we will be in a whole heap of trouble with the SEC if we let you continue to do banking with us. So that's basically who must comply. It's effectively everybody, because everybody at some point, if you're trading with the EU or the US, or you're resident, your company is resident in the EU or the US, or has an EU or US bank, you will have to comply with OFAC sanctions. That's putting it bluntly, is effectively everybody. Is the way it works out, and it's interesting. You can discover this. I mean, the best way to do it is to comply in advance to make sure you're not. If you don't, as I say, the embarrassing thing is you get told by your bank, hey, by the way, we don't want to have you as a customer anymore. And being debanked in today's world where everything's going via electronic transfers, and you've got wire transfers and electronic banking and all this kind of thing, if you're debanked, you are in a whole heap of trouble because you cannot do business. You won't be able to have a credit card, corporate credit card. You can't pay for things. People can't pay you, which is probably also important. It's extremely unpleasant to discover that you're debanked, that financial institution doesn't want to do business with you. And part of the other problem with that is once one financial institution decides they don't want to do business with you, no other financial institution decides they want to do business with you, because they will ask you legitimately, who were you doing business? Who was your banker before? And you will say it was whichever bank, and they will then contact whichever bank and say, why did you decide to stop having them as your banking customer? And they will say, because they appeared to be violating OFAC sanctions. And at which point your new potential bank will say, and we don't want you as a customer either. So to put it simply, everybody in the world needs to pay attention to OFAC sanctions, because if you don't pay attention to it, you may be cut out of the global financial system, and that is fundamentally a existence-ending event at this time, because you literally cannot do business anywhere if you don't have a bank account.